Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into a comparison of two iconic Rolex Submariner models that have captured the hearts of watch enthusiasts around the world. The 140-60M and this beautiful looking on a parachute strap 1140-60. Each of these timepieces that you see here truly tell a unique story, showcasing the evolution of design and technology in Rolex's legendary dive watches. So whether you are a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, let's explore the intricate details that makes these watches truly special. Now let's kick things off with the Rolex Submariner 140-60M. A really beautiful watch. If you're a little bit familiar with the story, it is basically a model that first hit the market in 2001. This watch is a quintessential representation of Rolex's dive watch legacy, marrying functionality with timeless style and elegance. Now let me just zoom a little bit in so you're able to get a little bit more out of the video that you're looking at. Just let me clean a little bit more of the glass. Ah, there you go. Now, when you look at the 140-60M, the first thing that stands out is it's, look at that, a flat 4 bezel insert that you see here. It's a very, very, very rare thing to see this in combination. And this detail is more than just an aesthetic detail. It embodies the vintage appeal that many collectors crave for. The matte finish of the aluminum that you see here gives it an understated elegance. You know, it's not like the newer references now when you look at them. They're a little bit more shiny, more blingy, more in your face. And a direct comparison gives you the feeling, well, as if someone really tried to, in kind of way, blew up the newer references. Everything is bigger, everything is bolder. And I really don't know why. I really don't know why they didn't kept it like this. But regardless, let's continue with the older model, right? Now, if you talk about the dial, for instance, this black dial is adorned with luminous hour markers that glow brilliantly in low light, ensuring you can read the time even in darkest conditions. One of the most fascinating features is, and that's what I tried to tell you up front at the very beginning, and I'll try to zoom in a little bit more. Just give me a second. I hope the camera really catches. You know, usually I love cameras, but this one here gives me a little of a hard time. So I truly apologize if the images are now a little bit blurry, but if not, you can see the caged Swiss made, right? And this thing is, it's very, very rare when you get your hands on such a watch. I mean, you can get a 140-60 and be happy with it. You got here, for instance, 4 lines, and this here got 2 lines. And then you got the cage Swiss made, and the way how the Submariner has been printed on the dial is also very, very unique. And, you know, combining that with a flat 4 aluminum bezel, and then knowing that this watch is from 2004, basically not stating, you know, being very, very, how to call it, understated, because in the dial, it is not stating, as if I now take this here, this watch, the newer reference, that it is a superlative chronometer, officially certified. So basically COSC certified. It's written here on the dial, but it's not written here on the dial, guys. And still, this watch is having the 3130 movement, which is the upgraded movement. So this is a very, very, very interesting watch that you can come across and in your watch collecting journey. And look at that unbelievable condition. Now, when you are trying to compare that with this watch here, this watch is not perfect, but for its age, pretty much banged up. I mean, that is okay. You know, the person that gave me this watch for review really loved to wear that watch. It's absolutely not a problem. But this person here that had this watch in his collection really wear it very, very rare. Nevertheless, as I'm trying to put now this watch on my wrist, let me just zoom a little bit out again and try to play around with the autofocus of the camera. There you go. I can't help it, but I have to say I admire the craftsmanship of this bracelet. It's just brilliant, and Rolex is of course known for that. You know, and when I check out the oyster case design with its 40mm diameter, it feels solid. It's really combined with the bracelet feeling very reassuring that you will have this watch your lifetime on your wrist, and it's somehow merged together with your wrist. That's how it really feels like, very, very flat, sitting on the wrist. And now when I take it off again and put it now here on the safe blanket so I'm not scratching it, and get this puppy out. The reason why I took off the bracelet of this watch was it didn't felt as comfortable on my wrist as the 140/60, for example. Now, mind you, how can I show that best? Well, I would just, if possible, yeah, there you go. Look the height comparison. This is a new reference, and this is the older one. And I'm also trying to put them side by side. I have a feeling that we have a significance in height difference, and that's not little, guys. That's a lot. And when I had it on my wrist with its original bracelet, it didn't felt right. It really didn't felt right at all. I would just put it now on my wrist so you guys can see that. Even though I have to admit we now have a little bit more of height because we have the parachute strap in between, but it's still not as comfortable. Look at that. It's still not as comfortable as if I, now taking it off again, whoop, compare the way how, for example, all the reference is really sitting on my wrist. It's like having a Patek, and you are comparing it with a tool watch. And the crazy part is, tool watches should be like Pateks. I gotta tell you that, guys. I feel like the way how it really presents itself on my wrist is very, very tool-like. And even though it's very slim and small, and I will not say tiny, but it's for its purpose enough. I have the feeling that this one here is absolutely over-engineered. It's like, hey, we are preparing ourselves to jump into the rocket and fly to Mars, and then we have to be prepared for all kind of, you know, physical difficulties which can occur that would maybe, well, not destroy the watch, but at least damage it to a certain, from us already calculated extent. And I think Rolex, in my honest opinion, Rolex should, and now let me zoom in a little again, Rolex should really focus again on its roots. On its roots, guys, Rolex should focus again, and my camera too. Oh man, I hate that thing. Come on, there you go. And get back to its roots. It has to get back to its roots, because this is the this is the most important thing. Maybe we will even, if Rolex is listening, and I know Rolex is watching all kind of videos. These are human beings. They are not Martians. So they are watching all videos very, very carefully, and have their team check out everything. And I kindly ask the team, the research and development team, to think about the old references, to think about bringing back the aluminum bezels. You know, the thing is, we as watch enthusiasts are a little bit afraid that when we buy, for example, such a watch, that this thing will not age. It will not age, but with this watch here, it will age beautifully. It will has its own character. The aluminum bezel can start, you know, look at that. We got here a scratch. Look at that. And I bet the scratch is cool. See? See the light reflection here? I bet the scratch is just cool, gives it a little bit character. And who knows where or when the owner scratched that watch exactly at that point. So he has a story to tell with the watch. We'll look at the watch and say, hey, I remember before my child hit its head on the family table in the living room, I was like, hold on. I put my hand in between, and then it just made clack. And the watch saved my child's head, or also my head. You know, if you understand what I mean, the kid wouldn't scream, cry, anything, and, you know, you prevented some bad things, maybe, with that small little scratch here. But this is, again, just made up. I haven't got a clue what happened, but I'm telling you, watches are also here to tell us, in some kind of way, also represent us in regards of storytelling. You know, one day you will not be here anymore, which is absolutely normal, and we will not live forever. But then maybe your child will have this watch in his hands and say, hey, mom or dad wore this when I was born, or wore this at this holiday trip with us, with me. And I think this should be also and always considered when you are sitting in the research and development department of any brand. Yeah, guys, that's the main thing what I wanted to say. If you look at that watch, well, as you see, I'm not really keen about talking about that watch, but for the sake of yeah, fair comparison, I will shift now all of our focus and talk a little bit of this Submariner 1140-60, which made basically its debut in 2012, if I remember correctly. And this model represents, just let me put the other watch on the side and talk a little bit about that watch. Even though, as you see, I'm really not a fan about this one. I'm more into that one. But however, where was I at? This model was 2012, I told you. And then, yes, exactly. It represents a modern evolution of the Submariner. It has its contemporary design. And, well, as I said, also, like the predecessor, a very legendary craftsmanship. And if you look at that watch and you know, check things out, the most striking features of this watch is, of course, its black ceramic insert, but for my taste, it's too shiny. I don't like that. I don't like, you know, spotting that watch from a mile away. I don't like that. It's not, and if I look and try to compare even the metal of the watches, they look different. And look at the knurling from this no date 140-60M compared to this one. This one looks kind of washed out. It's not serious. It's like, well, you know what? I am overdeveloped and I have a few little design clues from back in the days, but hey, here I am. And this thing is telling you, don't play with me. I'm serious. I mean, it's kind of more tactical. It has its own vibe, and I'm feeling this vibe much more. I'm not going to lie. Not a little bit, but much more than from that watch. And, you know, look at the dial. It's like you have here a side issue. You have to have everything bigger. The hour markers are bigger because, like Rolex is saying, you know what, our future customers are people beyond 70 years, and they gotta see the time, and it has to be legible everywhere. And back in the days, I say, hey, you know, this is fine craftsmanship, and we are really trying our best to put that everything into one cool looking watch. And somehow, I know I'm really bashing the new reference, but somehow I am not buying the clean design of that watch because it has too much busy things going on with that printing. I got the crown, the 2 lines, Rolex and Oyster Perpetual, and then the 4 lines. That's too much for my taste. I would like to have a clean dial. Rolex, listen to me. Get back to a 2-liner at max. Hide somewhere, you know, the little cool clues that you see here caged in between Swissmade that we have here. And just call it a day. We do not need those fat crown guards. For what? We're happy with them here. See that? Beautiful, beautiful. Guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the review. If so, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And we're going to see us, of course, in the next one. And if you like what you see, leave me a comment below. And love you guys.